gyrocopter who's not a frontliner, but he's also no slouch in being able to play, you know, forward in a team fight. So I was like, did you need another hero to push towers? Did you need another frontline hero? And if you wanted stuns, right, there's a billion mid laners that give you disables, right? So you had a lot of options on the table there. So,
I think there's a few things that make it interesting in this draft. One of them is you get another hero that can hit the tower and a better Aegis. Well, maybe not a better Aegis carrier, but another potential Aegis carrier alongside Gyro and DP, depending on if somebody gets doomed and dies in these fights. Like, who are you putting Aegis on in this game, and who are you trying to force the doom into? And the other thing is it gave you this flex with the Death Prophet, technically, going into that last pick. Like, Secret could have put anything mid here, technically, right? Because they could have played offlane Pango and carry Doom. And this gave you the option of putting the DK or the DP mid and putting the other one in the offlane.
Okay. Yeah.
So maybe they just really wanted to keep the DP mid open in case, like, I don't know, Timber came out or something wild here.
I do like the idea that it is splitting. They have split there because, as you said, like the OG style of drafting where they're playing through one hero. That is antithetical to what Doom is, right? Doom is like the ultimate anti for protect one, like when you're just trying to build around one guy. This is definitely, OG did not build around one core for this game. They did not put all their eggs in one basket, which is going to feel good against Doom. It does feel like this is a game where, like, it could be that like Dragon Knight is able to make that transition and start being like a real damage dealer if this game goes light. Or maybe it's just classic Gyrocopter takes over. Or maybe the Death Prophet gets early momentum and she becomes a monster. We haven't seen that yet in this qualifier. Death Prophets have struggled, but maybe this is the game for that. So I do like that against Doom anytime.
I agree. There's a lot of scale in this lineup. You always have good scale when you have Shadow Demon too, so this is a pretty even draft. I mean, I have a hard time betting against Doom though. This hero just seems to win, man. Like, I feel like especially when you get this Doom Death Prophet trade, it's gotta feel good as a Doom team. Like, you can make up for it, but you've got to feel pretty confident. Puppey, he's just running down days. He's got to TP out of there. Almost pays a big price against the two fire boys up here. This lane's already looking tough for OG, but see what they can get out of it, as the Olikor also getting run down. Almost dies as well. Okay. Yeah, these 2-4s are not having a fun time early.
Yeah, no surprise, I guess, in that regard, just because the two safe lane carries are so strong, and they're backed up by decent supports. Daze, Disruption, and Puppey still level 1. They took advantage of the situation, found an opening, and managed to get first blood. So Daze pretty clutch with it. The fact that he pulled off that TP play earlier, doesn't give up first blood, and now finds the opportunity to claim first blood is a really nice swing of things.
I mean, that said, Puppey took 300 damage from neutral creeps in that entire exchange. Little sus there, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. He thought he was playing Chen.
And fighting it out with the neutrals, man. That's classic.
It really is. Saturn Torment, they're doing some work here early. See who gets the last hit on it.
The dive, Daze, Blood Grenade, and being chased down with the Fire Spirits. A lot of damage over time coming from this duo. And unfortunately for the off lane pushes up at all. There is a lot of distance for them to be able to run you down. So no surprise that there's a kill returned back the other way, as that I'm sure that top lane is just going to be a back and forth mess.
All according to plan for Puppey. He just gives him the extra XP, so when he kills him, he gets a little more. And all works out for him in the end. Just get some camps up on this Phoenix, he'll be super happy. Lotus is coming out. Secret won both of them here. But Kiritich, even with that mana burn, he's not manning up here. 2 siphons online for Mixa here, and that urn already online for the Death Prophet. This means you do not want to give up any kills on this lane when that urn comes out super early. Oh, we got his courier killed too. All right, Puppey's having a little bit of a slow start here, but he'll warm up pretty fast.
I like how Puppey is the one player.
Yeah, I'm not going to end up like, you know, this guy goes to land and I'm there and he just walks up to me. He's like, I heard you were making fun of my courier desk. Like, I'm not going to be that guy. You know? I still have stuff to live for.
we haven't seen Puppy at a LAN in quite some time, and obviously the Western European qualifier for TI is the most important one. Puppy being the last player to have attended all the TIs and missed out last year, and perhaps looking at another year of missing TI as the Secret rosters just haven't been able to do it lately. Theo LaCour once again getting very low, but he continues to survive. I don't know how much regen he's bought in this lane, but he's living.
He's bought a lot. He's at the negative GPM territory. It's really adding up.
Territory. Oh man.
Yeah, it's rough. He just has not gotten that much CS. He's bought probably an average amount of regen, but one last hit, no kills. Rough times for the Shaman out here, as the pain just continues. Just tanking everything, giving the Pango as good a lane as he can get. Can't blame him. Not a lot of stacking in this game, especially for a Shadow Demon lineup with a gyro that could do it. Like, we're going to see one there, but nothing too early. All these guys kind of just playing on the lane. I feel like we haven't seen a lot of stacking today in general. Maybe the meta is just shifting a bit faster. Teams are playing more aggressive, rather look for kills or opportunities. I'm all for it.
How's mid lane going? Looks like it's going very well for the Monkey King. 32-12 compared to 23-2.
Yeah, he's owning.
As you said, it's a melee on melee matchup, but it's also a melee on melee matchup that Dragon Knight does not suffer that much.
No, he's fine in this matchup. And I always thought this matchup was honestly good for Dragon Knight overall in the grand scheme of things. Like, here's the high armor hero.
Nice catch. Theo LaCour got tired of getting low over and over again in the bottom lane. Turns up to top and gets the kill on Daze, and will now make the rotation. I love a play like that at 530 area, because it should theoretically give you the numbers advantage for the rune fight. And it doesn't actually work out here. Stormstormer gets the illusion rune, but it's a nice theoretical play.
You can do the same thing at like that 630, looking for the Wisdom Shrine. Like, you can gank this top lane, you can look for the play, and if it works, you go Wisdom Shrine. If it doesn't, you can still often go Wisdom Shrine. Especially if you got people low, they might not be able to contest it in general. See if Secret look for something similar up here. 30 seconds out from that objective, they are lingering around top. Would love to keep fighting around this Doom. Super strong with 3 points Scorched Earth. And you just never got the earn charges on the Death Prophet up here either. So that's a big win for Secret, denying out the kill that would have powered this up. Kind of been a dead item for the early game.
Mixa doing a good job. Oh god, maybe cursed him. I was gonna say of not overextending and not getting caught by the rotation of Theo LaCour, but then that's exactly what happened. So there he goes.
Yeah, getting a little too anxious. You still will trade the Wisdom Shrines. That's something here for OG. And Stormstormer did put some pressure on that mid lane and just goes back to the stacking. This is the one thing about this matchup that I think is nice for DK is if the monkey wants to leave to go do the Wisdom Shrine shenanigans, you just hit the tower, right? And like, you're kind of chilling.
Yeah. I feel like a lot more teams are doing I almost feel like mid laners can't do the 7-minute play anymore, because teams have gotten it was so meta for a little window of time that teams have developed all these strategies to play against it, whether it's, you know, making sure to mass rotate or having these picks mid that will punish it in some way. Doom does get used to kill the Jakiro. Shadow Shaman survives off of his foul play, and no damage over time to be able to stop him.
Well, it's Doom down for the Death Prophet at least. Still no earn charges though. And man, that was a high level Jakiro, by the way. That was a level 5 Jakiro. So yeah. I actually don't mind dooming him there. That is not a low level kill to secure.
It does give you a window where they can get level 6 on Death Prophet and their Doom would still be on cooldown.
Yep.
I wonder if they're going to try and play for that and get that safe lane tower killed.
The dangerous part is we're going to see something we saw in all those other games where if Secret just bring numbers, I think you just kill him. Like, you drop Wukong on his face, drop a Rolling Thunder. You can't really bail him out.
Meeks goes back to help out Daze, but he's going to realize that this situation is not a winnable one. He does manage to get the kill on Theolacor. Looks like foul play was still on cooldown, but with the presence of the Monkey King, it does not go well. You could see why he wanted to get aggressive there, because it seemed like OG wanted to make a move. They were coming through the gate at that same time, but Heroes just arriving to the fight late. The Jakiro and Gyrocopter not able to really get to the fight in time. Stormstormer does do the thing where you're saying if Monkey King's gonna leave, you pressure the tower, but getting caught in the process makes this situation much worse. Oof. Got a bit of damage on the mid tower, but dying for it, not worth at all.
This Monkey King just got 2 huge core kills in this game. Both the tower pushers going down to him in the time of 1 Wukong as well. He only had 1 to use for these pushes. He got both. And that was a play top where Ochi could have brought Shad in. He went through the gate. It just didn't sync up. So you didn't have this gyro for that big oomph when the skirmish actually happened. And that costs him time. You don't end up getting this tower. You don't get that early fight with the gyro with the barrage points that you were looking for. And he misses some XP bottom. It's kind of an awkward sequence for Gyro, who's the strongest hero in this game right now.
They've almost gotten both the safe lane and the mid tower, but it almost feels like OG is like they feel so pressured to get these early towers that they, you know, there's all these heroes that show up mid, and then they're like, okay, we got to do as much damage to the safe lane tower as possible. And then when they, you know, heroes show up in the safe lane, Stormstormer's like, I got to hit that mid tower. And they are just getting caught on both sides. And at this rate, Secret is going to be the ones taking the tier 1s first because of a move like this where they kill the Dragon Knight and take over the lane. And even as you TP in, you're TPing into Rolling Thunder potentially. So this is going to be dangerous for Shad. He's already lost both his supports. Monkey King will hop away through the trees. And
you gotta be careful of the tree cut. Like, God damn, it's like cutting every tree around this monkey. Almost did him dirty there. But yeah, you're right. Like OG are just, they are overplaying their hand around these tier 1s. Instead of using the tier 1s to get good fights for themselves, they're just sacrificing heroes to try and bring them down, which I think is kind of antithetical to your goal with this lineup. Like, you will get these tier 1s eventually. It's not about the tower, it's about the fight it gives you. It's about the team fight that Shad can connect to with this gyro that is going to give your supports the levels they need in this game. It's not about the tower, and you haven't been taking these objectives in terms of setting up the fight. You've just been trying to brute force them down, and you've paid a heavy price. 2 deaths on the Dragon Knight, 2 deaths on the Death Prophet in this early game. Slows you down a lot.
Sure. Did manage to finally get that mid tower and that safe lane tower. Team Secret, though, they take the enemy safe lane tower and are currently playing in that area. Looking at the Gyrocopter. Monkey King, see, he's out. Back to farming for him. Stormstormer, when they get the Blink Dagger, maybe that will make things cleaner for OG when they'll have a clear source of initiation. Maybe they'll feel that, I don't know, maybe they will put together team fights better off of having a Blink instead of just brute forcing towers.
I honestly don't know if you should go Blink here. I think this is, I don't know. I think your lineup's kind of just designed to scale the 3 cores. You don't have that much damage follow-up on a Blink initiation unless you bring the gyro. And I guess my question is, what are you going to fight for in the next 3 to 4 minutes here that the gyro's connecting to? 14-minute Wisdom Shrine? No. Bottom tier 1? Probably not. Early Roshan? Probably not. I mean, you could do it with Exo, but I don't think you need Blink to force that anyway. I feel like you should just farm
but at the same time, you built Spirit Vessel on Death Prophet, right?
Sure.
Like you kind of have already tipped your hand to going into that fighting direction, and like Dragon Knight's the only thing that's really going to enable that, unless you get the good fights around towers, which they haven't done so.
I mean, I agree that like the way OG are itemizing is it's for the early game. You know, you have this Falcon Blade, Dragon Lance on the gyro too. He's perfectly happy to join the early fights. They are strong. As long as you can find that fight. And I guess my question is, where are you going to find that fight in the next 3 to 4 minutes here? The only place I see is Roshan, if you want to really try and force an early Rosh with Exo.
Right. If he were to go the slower build for the Dragonite, what is that itemization wise? Is it Mage Slayer? Is it like Midas?
I mean, I think your options are pretty much Midas, Mage Slayer, or Maelstrom. It's like all you can really do.
Look at Laquari trying to be cheeky with it. You're not gonna get, but if he manages to get TPs out of them and survive, that is like worth in a way. He didn't even TP back to base. He TP'd to the tier 2 top, so he's still kind of out on the map.
It's not nothing. I mean, this is space for the Pango to continue to farm out, push this bottom wave in, and then you can go for a play if you're secret. You have Diffusal on the Pangolier. You have your Maelstrom on the Monkey King. You can also just keep farming here.
They're gonna go for the smoke.
Yeah, I prefer this.
Hit a little timing here. Yeah.
Yeah, you still have this mid-tier 1 you can go to. Like, this is the upside of sometimes having the tower up is it gives a clear point where you know OG are kind of going to be around this area.
And even just something like this, quick pick into maybe taking some of the neutrals and farming your way back, but they're going to go for the mid tower. Got the Shadow Shaman wards. I mean, they don't even need it.
Yeah, just take this
mid for free. So I like the fact that Doom didn't join in on that smoke rotation. Definitely felt like this was not a full commitment smoke, right? It was just something, go out there, get something, take that mid tower as a result of getting that pick. I have found the other scary part about Doom for me, I'm like playing as an offlaner, I'm like, man, the safe lane Doom, how do I deal with this hero in the safe lane? It's just so strong. And then later on, it feels like if the game slows down, it's not bad for the carry Doom, because it's like when an alchemist is free farming, right? It's just like, yeah, in some ways, like the hero is going to cap out, but it gets to this overwhelming point so quickly, you know, that you're going to have some window of like 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and this hero is going to be, 5 slotted, and it's just going to be impossible to beat in those mid-game team fights. So I don't feel bad if the game speeds up for the Doom, and I don't feel bad when it slows down like this either.
That's called just being a good hero.
That's true. Nice initiation into the Ice Path Macro Pyre. I mean, they do have some. They have that, right? They have that follow-up to the Dragon Tail initiation. Jakiro's probably one of the better heroes to take advantage of that situation, but they would like more off of this situation. They might know the Monkey King's here because
he's taking a lot of damage.
He's taking so much damage. This exorcism, it's ate him up, and beautiful disruption. He's coming back and he's still dead, but the exorcism lasted long enough. It did extra damage. The supernova goes out there. No disables to keep the heroes in play. Kadaro even playing because he wants the gyrocopter to be active here. The gyrocopter was coming over to the fight, but Team Secret have already called it a day. They used a lot of spells, did not get that much for it.
That's such a weird situation. Like, I feel like you have to just drop the Wukong and go. I don't think you can sit there and take that much damage off Exo with nothing happening. That's kind of bizarre. Maybe he just thought he wasn't going to take as many of the hits as he did, but there's no one else there. Kind of brutal.
It also didn't help that the Death Prophet didn't seem to know he was there, but walked right next to the tree. And obviously, the closer you are to Exorcism, the more damage you take, because the ghosts are it's based off of them hitting the hero and then coming back to Death Prophet and going out again. So if that distance is short, damage from Exorcism starts amping up, and he was about as close as you can get.
That is not the fight you were looking for. Your secret there, but he didn't lose too much here. And if you're OG, at least you got something off this Dragon Knight Blink. Like, you got the big pick off, you got something to close the map a little bit, but like I said, it's not going to lead into any big objectives here early game. So you're going to have to keep farming up. And you are going to have to play into a very farm Doombringer, as Kiritich is putting in the work with the bargain. And this is Midas back on the menu, Radiant's running the whole time. He got the Alpha Wolf. It's the carry Doom Dream right now, just slowly out farming you.
Yeah. As time goes on, it's definitely looking more and more like what you were saying about the Blink Dagger. They really didn't get that much for it, and you are beginning to wish that you had gone for more farming builds on some of these heroes.
I just feel like that was how this game was going to be no matter what. Like, I just did not see you getting a lot of pickoffs with this Blink. as much as you would have liked it to have been like that, Secret are just not gonna, they're not gonna fight you head up unless it's for a big objective.
No, maybe that. Do you think that situation is different though if they had gotten momentum off of the Death Prophet, like the early pushes from Death Prophet and Dragon Knight, right? They get those towers without dying as much. Maybe they even get a good team fight. Like if they got that momentum early, right, then this build up, the itemization that they went for would have been perfectly fine or even great, right?
Honestly,
or
even
do you
then,
still fundamentally disagree?
I don't know. Like, I think there are games where this early blink looks good, but I think he's about to die here. And this is going to make it feel a lot worse. I just, honestly, part of me thinks even if theoretically the blink is good, in the modern state of Dota, it's just kind of been eroded in terms of its value. Like, the map's just too big. People just farm too much.
The setup from Secret right now is too good. They get the Dragon Knight kill, but at the same time, this smoke rotation behind Shad. I mean, fantastic setup from Secret. The fact they managed to pull off both kills, very crucial 4 kills like that, back to back, pretty sick. Trade-off is OG will manage to get the Tormentor. It's the Demonic Purge, but they're going to get caught on the way out. And Althea the Core is going to die for this one. Does the Pango want to go through this gate? He's going to get silenced. He's not going to get off Rolling Thunder away. He might just die of the Exorcism here, trying to get it off now, but the Exorcism, the last bit of damage. Oh, he needs a little bit more, and he's got him. Mixa gets the double kill. Secret gifting OG something on top of the Tormentor.
Get the
Phoenix was perfectly fine. They get the Phoenix as well. The trade-off was so good for Secret, and then they got greedy with it.
I mean, that's greedy's one thing. That was you thought you're gone. Like, I don't know. It's just one by one through a gate, and nobody else is there. The Doom's not involved in any of that Tormentor attempt. The Tormentor's already gone. Like, what are you even fighting for here? I think you just let the Olacore die and you just farm the map, and you would have been okay with that trade.
100%.
A very strange sequence there for Secret, and then you lose Puppy on the Phoenix afterwards. He's not going to be happy about that. I mean, your Doom is so fat right now. I don't think you have to force a lot of action that is not around Kiritich. Or OG forcing your hand. Like, if OG just go in the Roche pit with Exo, that's one thing. If they force that Tormentor with Exo and you're set up to contest it, okay. But I don't think you're under that much pressure to, you know, force fights right now. Like, you have a lot of scale in your lineup.
We are going to see, there's a reason why I said earlier when Puppy likes to interact with the neutrals quite a bit. He is, of course, known as a Chen player, but he's also known as being one of the greedier find positions, historically speaking. Plays, farms a lot of neutrals, and he is going to be going for that, was it Kataomi build? Who was it that always did the Scythe Rush on
Cowrie.
Phoenix? Cowrie, that's right. I mix up the Eastern European K boys.
Another solo play by Theolacore. This is, again, very awkward.
Very dead. He's going to get +1 maybe. Disruption on Cloud, and the silence is there. Can they get the follow-up with the slowdown? Yeah, they've got him. And
nice
OG,
find.
they're cooking now. Secret giving him some openings, and OG, I mean, to their credit, they're taking full advantage of the situation.
Yes, they definitely are, but it does feel like Secret are just forcing some random plays. Like, what is this solo play wards in the river via Shaman? Like, you're just baiting your team into bad positions. And now OG, they get to group up, and this is what their lineup really wants to do. Group is 5, force the objective-based fights where Secret have to respond. And you have your BKBs, or at least you have the BKB on the Dragon Knights. You almost have the gyros, but you won't have it here.
Oh, they spotted him. Ace catches the Monkey King +1 with the Monkey King already dead. I mean, they got a Supernova in the pit. That's a really good position with the Doom out on Misa. Maybe they can blow him up here. Kiritich has to TP away during his BKB, but the Phoenix can finish him off. Well played by Secret. They'll probably still lose this situation. They're going to lose support, but getting the Death Prophet out of it. Yeah, I mean, if only the missile wasn't on him, he could have comboed that into the Rolling Thunder. Maybe they could have killed the Dragonite as well, and then maybe all bets are off for the Roshan. But as it stands, OG well positioned to take this Roche if they just... I mean, they should have the courage to do so. Oh, God, they're actually going to fight this one. Rolling Thunder is coming out. Shad has managed to get that out of him with the Serpent Wards. Roshan's going to die here. He's going to pop the BKB, but he's blocked out by the wards. He's got to get inside the pit to be able to grab this. Aegis, they go for it. Stormstormer jumps in. Aegis on the ground. Somebody pick it up, for God's sakes. Aegis, Shad finally gets the grab. They wipe out the two in the pit. They get the Aegis, and they don't get the Roshan kill. Shad is going to lose the Aegis. Rival's still jumping in after this one. Oh, somebody take this Aegis away from this man. All right, they finally got it. Kiritich, he'll take him out one swing of the sword. Now the question is, are you going to be able to get out? Secret seemed a little bit slow to... I mean, this is a 3 versus 5, boys. You got to get that kill and get away as quick as possible. Puppet gets caught. Now the missile into Kiritich. He's going to get the slowdown with the call down. Beautifully placed. Double slow into the ice path. Kiritich is gone, and OG had taken full control of things now.
Shad owned that fight. He delivers BKB right as the ward's Rolling Thunder gets dropped. That's what allows him to go back in there. And eventually clicks the Aegis. Eventually gets it here on the side of OG. And a nice chase down on the Doom as well. Very nice fight from him. This Gyro putting the team on his back right now after a Roche play that almost went awry. Yeah, this is just... Man, it feels like the last 5 or 6 minutes for Secret has just been super awkward. Like, everything about these plays is, it's just people trickling into engagements. The team fight, you don't have everybody alive. I don't think we've seen a fight where all the cores were alive and fighting together. Whereas for OG, they've pretty much done everything as a team, and they're getting the rewards of a coordinated effort here, for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is. I mean, we had some criticism for OG and like some of their early ideas of the game, but reach the mid game. They to their credit, they did not panic when things were going wrong. It seemed like in the early game, though. Now to jump in, that's going to be a Shadow Shaman dead right away. Traded out for the Jakiro. The Supernova goes off, and OG not in a position to deal with it. Meanwhile, the Doom is trying to run after the Death Prophet. Can't really commit though, because the Exorcism being out. It just means that chasing the Death Prophet ends up throwing a lot of damage back your way. And so Secret will have to back out, giving OG control over this area and likely to take the tier 2 tower.
Supernova and Doom used. You just gotta support. Feels pretty bad. Nice disengage from OG. Glimmer Capes, or Glimmer Cape plus 4 staff already up between the supports. Counts for a lot in these fights against the Doom. Secret gonna chase here. It feels like we need some impact from this Monkey King. Rebel had a really good start, and then he has not found his mark in the team fights. It's been too discoordinated.
Yep. And we're seeing some of the other side of the Death Prophet versus Doom matchup. This was way more common in older Dota with this matchup between Death Prophet and Doom, is that if you got off the Doom after Exorcism, it was really bad because Doom back then didn't stop the healing. So if he already got Spirit Siphon off, he already got Exorcism off, then Doom was effectively not really stopping anything. And so Death Prophet was kind of like, you know, just a carry tiny or something like that, where he's just like, I'm still doing all the damage and you're not really stopping that. And we're seeing that out of these last couple of fights where he's Doom's out the Death Prophet, the Exorcism is already down, and he's just taking so much damage from Exo that he can't ensure the Death Prophet dies.
Especially if he survives the Doom and can come back in the fight. Like, he can heal up really fast. So that's the worst part of that, is if you don't finish him off, you're really screwed. And OG just push him, man. They don't need Aegis. They have BKBs on the two big cores. If you want to commit on the Death Prophet, this is one of those lineups where, sure, you might be able to all-in Mixa here, but the other two cores are going to take your lives, take your buildings. Solar Crest already done as well, helps this DK frontline. That's an easy range tracks right there. No fight from Secret, who are probably left wondering, like, what did we do wrong in this game? Because it felt like they had some nice early game control and then just turned into nothing.
I mean, I'll tell you, it felt like they panicked a bit. They were too pushy to try and take advantage of certain situations, like, you know, oh, Tormentor's down, you know, like maybe they're low, let's get through that. Then they started losing some control. The Roshan fight, maybe an example of that situation where they're just trying to force things too much. Felt like their reaction to things going bad was much worse than OG. OG seemed to like be able to keep their composure, where it feels like Secret did not, because when things started going bad, they just continued to get worse and worse.
I agree with that a little bit, yeah. Feels like OG just know what their game plan is, and they're just playing towards it.
Yeah.
And it's get all 3 cores fat, have 3 semi-carries that kind of counteract this carry Doom. You can only Doom one guy. The other 2 will carry the fight. And just don't take bad team fights in this game. Keep fighting for the big objectives you want to and progress your game plan. If you could ever get an Aegis on this gyro, then you have your high ground mechanism. Can even put on the DK this game, depending on who's stronger. And that's a tough Aegis for Secret to get through, because you likely have to commit ults to do it. Like, you're going to have to drop something between the Doom, the Wukong, the Supernova. And the last BKB for OG is arriving now? Yes, flying out for the Death Prophet. That's huge. BKB Dragonite, BKB Gyro, BKB Death Prophet. With Disruption, Glimmer, Cape Force Staff, Solar behind them. That is a lot to get through. And you don't have BKB piercing control. You have nothing.
Yeah, there's pretty much no way that, and unless you are getting the initiation on the Death Prophet and chaining up some disables, there's no way that Doom actually ensures that Death Prophet dies.
Yeah, no way. I mean, whoever you Doom here is going to BKB walk it off, and they're going to get Glimmer to Force or whatever, and then what are you doing in that period if you're Secret, right?
So the question, that's a good question. What is Secret? If you're in their position, what do you do right now? Are you just trying to dodge team fights and then just go for the Hail Mary smoke contest?
I mean, I'm definitely dodging fights. The only place I'm fighting is either High Ground or Roche Pit, because at least then you can take advantage of this Supernova Wukong Rolling Thunder while the Roche is getting low. That's pretty awkward for OG to fight into. Like, we saw it around that pit. That Supernova in the pit was pretty nasty.
It was very strong.
So that's
maybe
your
Hail
best
Mary is too strong of a phrase to use, because it's not like Secret's down that much, right? They've cut it down to only a 5,000 net worth lead. They're likely to be picked off a few times, as you said, if they're going to be dodging team fights, and OG does not have bad catch in that regard between Blink Dagger Shadow Demon and Blink Dagger Dragonite. So likely to give up a few kills here or there as we wait for this Roshan to spawn.
Yeah, they're in an okay spot. You just don't want to give up bad Cordis going into this next Roche, because if OG get that Aegis, then you're in trouble. It's going to make that high ground defense a lot tougher. And we'll see what Shad can pick up here. If he can get to another item, like during this Roche spawn interval, that would be huge. Because he just finished Broach. He's hitting a lot harder, Gunpowder Gauntlet on top of that. And he can sell this Falcon Blade going into the next item. So he really has like 3k plus gold here. He could just buy out for something and try and just min-max the damage for this next Roche fight, particularly if it's a long Roche spawn.
Oh, so I was going to ask about damage. Do you feel like he needs that much more damage? Because he's looking at S and Y, you're going to be looking at Satanic, and you're going to be looking at like maybe Daedalus at some point in time. Like, where do you think the priority lies between those items?
I would want damage if I'm him, because you have 2 other semi-carries that are both going to provide a decent amount of damage and have a lot of HP. So you need to, basically you just want to be in a position where whatever 2 cores don't get all in, if that happens, you have damage to carry the fight. Like, I'm actually not as concerned about building survivability here, because I think in the situation where you get gone on, you get 100 to 0, like, you're going to get 100 0'd or whatever. But in the situation where you don't, then just deal as much damage as you can. Just kill Secret while they're trying to kill you, the 1 core they doomed and are trying to all in.
5-man smoke wrap around. Here comes that Roshan play. Secret looking to contest. You put it pretty aptly. They can't really afford to give one of these cores an extra life. as it would likely cost them at least a Doom, a Wukong's Command, or something to be able to claim that Aegis, and that doesn't leave them with too many resources for the second life. So they did a long wraparound, got into the Radiant side control point for Roshan, but OG have pushed into the Dire Triangle and hold the Dire side, and they are in the better position to threaten the base. So if OG makes read of the situation, they just kind of can push the creep waves into the base and maybe get a response. Puppy's there to try and deal with the creep waves. Now they go into the pit. Does OG actually know? They got a scan on him, so they do know. The Rolling Thunder, they see an opportunity. They go for the initiation. It's going to be Jakiro, already dead. Nullified out of this fight. Immediate buyback from him, though. That was an intentional play in some regard. Disruption used to try and bail out the Death Prophet here. With a teleport onto the outpost, they have their full 5-man squad up, but Shad is a bit isolated here. Very isolated. Going to be shackled down. Controlled up quite heavily. Can the rest of the team get here in time? Certainly not. They can't even take advantage of the situation. Daze, who showed up, immediately gets killed as well. It's more buybacks coming out from OG. A quick teleport away. Nice readed situation from the Monkey King. Got out of there. Unfortunately, his offlaner does not. Cloud ends up going down. And OG, a heavy investment to do so, but they will walk away with the Roshan with the Aegis.
That's a very heavy investment. Triple buyback there. A lot more than you wanted to spend to get this Aegis, particularly the gyro going down. This is where, again, you don't get to put the Aegis on him. You have to give it to somebody else here. I'll give it to the Death Prophet. That's very interesting, too.
The two other cores are not good for Aegis, right? Because they're transformation heroes.
I think the DK is a little better, but maybe this Death Prophet Ags and gives them some playability. I mean, Secret, they played this really well. They had the right angle. They had the high ground. They're able to commit ults. They take down a support early. The Sunray Supernova plus that Doom ticks out the DP, so Puppy sacrifices his life to make that happen. And then you get to focus fire this gyro way separated from the fight. OG did not get to maintain a good formation on that exchange because they basically got caught in the river and it split the fight up really naturally. Awkward situation.
It seemed like
for
they
them.
had the idea, right, where they took the triangle and took the outpost, that they knew they were going to play for buybacks off in that team fight. But it almost felt like because they were going to play with buybacks, that they did not maintain formation for a proper team fight. Because like they had the scan on the high ground and everything. Like Jakiro kind of barrels forward, he gets jumped on, but then also the gyro is so far forward, he gets isolated from his team. The way that he takes that fight.
There's no way you should just be face planting that high ground with the Jakiro. Like even if you have buy, it just doesn't do anything for the fight. I think they honestly probably would have been better off just pushing Secret's base and making them show and come back, and then going Rosh. And then Secret has to go through their vision, through their outpost. To reach them, you can take the fight there if you really want to. I think they had the better position and kind of gave it up. And that's why they had to spend sort of buybacks for this fight. Now, in the end, they still get an Aegis, and you can argue it's still worth it here. But you can't afford to put up too many bad fights like that, particularly if Stormstormer goes down.
Yeah, if another fight goes bad, it's going to go really bad because then you're dealing with dieback timers and a much bigger opening for Secret to take over the game.
They caught the DK.
What just happened here with a pick off on the Dragon Knight. No BKB opportunity against the Shadow Shaman. BKB Death Prophet teleports away. The other two supports will also both successfully get out. So they have managed to limit the losses as much as possible. But yeah, that's still going to put your Aegis timing kind of awkward here for this 3.5 minutes.
It's also the worst hero to have go down right now. He's so much of your presence around the map. We saw the Hex pick up for Puppy as well, so you have a lot of Hex chaining that can go out between the Phoenix and the Shaman here. A lot of control if you get jump first and you don't get BKB off. And the Bashers can eventually come out here for Secret. Like you can get a Basher on Penguin, you can get a Basher on the Monkey. You can build some BKB control in this game. You can continue to scale. You're not just automatically getting outscaled in this game. Still have Aegis for 3 minutes. It's kind of an awkward situation for OG. Like you want to push and fight with this Aegis, but it's on the DP. So it's not that good to just go and exo their base. And then if he dies, it's like, well, yeah, he comes back, but it's not as impactful.
Yeah. And Aegis is not a guarantee of a team fight against Phoenix, right? because it's always kind of dangerous. It's like you can't just give away that one fight, because when they come back up, they're coming back into a supernova that's going to explode. And a Wukong's command, like, they do have that like zone control of secret that if the execution is good enough, it doesn't matter how many lives you have if you're just coming back into the same shithole, you know?
That is very true. You can disengage it, but it doesn't mean you're going to win the fight. That's AC done for Kirtich, so he's hitting a lot harder now. This boosts up some of the other two cores damage as well. Monkey and the Pango benefit from the armor. And it's just smoke on smoke action, looking for the fight, even into the Aegis here. Let's see if Ochi can get some bait value out of it, but no, it's just, oh, nice disruption.
Good disruption, but the supernova is out, so the Dragon Knight is ward trapped into a supernova. So it is a clean win already. Misa going back in, going for the kill on a rival. Rival gets the big heal off and is able to win the fight against Misa. He heals up the full, now full shackles on a Shaddy, pops his BKB, but he's surrounded by too much physical damage. He wouldn't be able to TP out. And the Death Prophet coming back to life is instantly killed. The Aegis does nothing for you in this situation. Secret. I mean, this has just been a back and forth game where it feels like there's always one team that has a better mind of what they're doing in the fight. Right now, it's Secret.
That DK got double hexed right off the bat, and there was a very good disruption that countered both of these hexes. So in theory, it's not a bad turnaround, but you just get doomed and you can't engage into this supernova, so it doesn't really matter. Like, the second you get jumped, it feels like that fight's over.
Yeah, the situation is it would require Shad to be closer to the fight so we could just BKB commit onto the egg, right?
Yeah, you all go in, but it's pretty scary to do that. It just feels like we're seeing OG get outscaled right now. And I mean, to me, this is the Doom puzzle. Like, you give this Doom away, he just wins. This hero just wins, man. He does so much damage. He's so damn tanky. He always gives you a clear path in how to win a fight, right? Like, you go on whoever the problem hero is, you Doom that guy, and you're probably happy with the exchange. It's not complicated. It's not something you have to figure out. It's just, who's the problem? Who's doing the most damage? The Dragon Knight? Okay, we jump and Doom him.
And we're not seeing that the other cores can carry the fight like we were theorizing, right? But have these other two cores be damage threats. But they did manage to catch Secret as they push. What happened there? They were like
getting way too greedy.
They rotated back their Monkey King back. Yeah, another situation where they're just getting too greedy.
Like, it's just an unnecessary push. A bad Deathless Doom. He was worth a lot of gold. He had a huge streak. That's a 6x streak. That's a 2,000 gold kill. Just on that Doom, a lot of it going to the Dragon Knight, yeah. And that's full Satanic for Stormstormer. I agree that we have not seen the Tricore be too effective so far, but this game could get to a point where it is if you can continue to find farm on everybody here. But that's the key for OG. You have to find farm on all three of these cores. You can't let someone fall behind, because then it makes dooming whoever's in the lead that much more impactful. And here's an Exeter just going high ground. Okay, very aggressive.
I love this. Try and get that buyback out of the Doom. If not, building's going to be coming out. And it is unlikely, I think, that Secret is really going to be able to punish you off the Doom buyback, right? It would require Shadow Shot to get a good grab on you. And they do have 4 staffs to see there to bail you out and make sure that you can get off the BKB and reset. So that's going to be one lane of barracks. 20 seconds left on the Doom. Doesn't seem like enough for OG to do anything in the mid lane. So yeah, they've already made the... Well, actually, that's not their drawing. It looks like the call from Rival. He wants to push into them as the Doom is coming back up, but OG's already pretty much reset. Butterfly's going to be the next item choice. He was thinking about Satanic, and I feel like that's always a little awkward with this kind of build now, where you go Revenant's Brooch on Gyrocopter. So he's going to go Butterfly as his other item, which I like more. Better damage. And maybe he gets doomed, maybe he doesn't. Last few fights have been Dragonite has been the target there. But I think the biggest thing is OG just need to stick together, so we have an opportunity to see the Tricore lineup have impact when one of them gets gone on, right?
Like, when that jump comes in from Secret, if you're just all there with everybody, you just pop triple BKB, you kill Egg, you just take the fight. Like, you can't get jumped on one guy and leave that guy behind. you're not winning that fight in the long run. Even if the guy is by, I think it's pretty unlikely. You just have to be together, take it as a team, and believe you have enough scale and correct itemization to win that team fight. Attack speed, you have it to kill the egg. Absolutely can sit there and kill the egg, at least until some BKB control is out. We have a basher on the monkey, but no basher in sight for Cloud on this Pango. So that's kind of hit here. If you're secret, like your only ability to control the egg hitters is jumping them first or bashing a dude, like pretty unlikely.
I do wonder if you're getting to a point where, because it's a level 3 egg now, right? So it's 10 hits. It's probably, still good and everything, but I do think it's not as much a guarantee win anymore when the gyrocopter has to spend that much time hitting the egg, right? Because those are no longer all flat cannon shots that gotta go out, right? Because flat cannon is, oh no, flat cannon's 10 shots too. Never mind. I forgot about the talent.
Yeah, it's still fine. Also, it's not, in theory, it should not just be him. It should be like 5 flat hits and 3 and 2 from other people. Yeah, it should be a joint effort here.
Smoke up, pushing into dire triangle. Secret was set up for it, but the lane is pushing in bottom. They kind of have to deal with that. It looks like are they conceding this area, or are they setting up? It's funny, they don't want to take it on the staircase. They want to take it in this more claustrophobic area, which I suppose is technically better for Supernova and Wukong's command, right?
It's also they want to make sure they can keep clearing this bottom wave, because this is the lane without the racks, so they have to cut this wave to maintain some sort of map control that OG can't just sit there and wait it out on. Which in theory, OG can still do this if they don't think Roche is going to spawn super early, or that Secret are going to force it down. They can just hold the high ground and be very patient here, and someone from Secret eventually has to show. Secret baiting the rune? No, they'll take the rune.
All right, well, seeing the illusions, OG definitely know there's probably a smoke in this area. There's some sort of play. Misa is not being that careful with it. Nullifier placed onto him. They're getting the control on good disruption. Has an opportunity to get off BKB, but he still gets hexed up, and he's underneath the Supernova anyway, so likely to die. Shadow Demon in his attempt to bail out Misa, and Starfall is going to go back in. Double buyback's going to be used right on the outpost here. BKB committed to kill off the Pango. He's dead. He has buyback, though. Silence on 2 as Mixa starts slowing down the Doom. Doom gets eaten up by this Death Prophet, man. Good use to the Boundless Strike and Blink Daggers to try and retreat here. Rival BKB's TP's out, no control here, so he will manage to get away. Team Secret are gonna have to use some buybacks here, but maybe they could stall it enough. The exorcism starts like fading, and maybe they could take a team fight off of that. But 3 dead on the side of Secret, and OG push into the base.
If you win this fight, you're gonna get Roche off this. This could be a big throw from OG if you die overextending here.
Here comes the initiation. Some of these heroes don't have BKB, remember, and the buybacks have been completely committed inside the Wukong's command. Slowed down to a crawl. The Dragon Knight just cannot get out. That's 2 dead. The 2 that died do have the buyback, so OG may still be able to have a 5-on-5, or maybe Shat's going to be caught BKB here, and he's doomed up. He's also going to go down.
Doing a lot of damage,
lots of damage out. Holy shit, he got a lot of damage out.
Okay. Is that enough, though?
It doesn't seem to be enough. Without the OG are not sure, I guess, should they have bought back immediately and TP'd outposts? Could they have gotten here in time? I'm not sure, but as it stands, now they've lost a hero that does not have buyback. Now they really cannot contest Roshan, I believe.
And an amp damage spawns bottom river if Kiritage wants to check it here. Or he's heading straight for it. What a rune find. I mean, now you absolutely go to Roche top. Expensive buybacks from Secret, but they held the gold the whole time. I mean, they were prepared for a long fight here. And this is that push from OG that's... Like, is this the push you want to force, right? Like, you do want buybacks here, but I also feel like if your goal is to get buybacks, you're instantly bailing with everybody. This was not an instant bail. This was a, let's linger and see what kind of happens. And this is the reason you get caught on some other heroes. And I think this is easily a situation where, okay, you push, you get buybacks, you lose Dragon Knight, you buy the Dragon Knight, you can still take that Roche fight, you have buyback advantage. They might not have Doom or Egg or something, right? and that could be a good situation. So the fact that OG are a little hesitant here on, are we getting buybacks and getting out with everybody, or are we actually just taking this fight? It costs them a lot right there, because now you effectively just threw a fight into Secret, gave them a massive Roshan in this game. And they were kind of getting capped on item slots in some of these heroes anyway, so for them using the gold for buybacks to win a fight is pretty valuable, honestly.
Yeah. The recipe doesn't cost that much anymore, but it is. Oh, caught the Dragonite. Oh no, Stormer. He gets all the BKB. Doom is up in a second here. He doesn't have TP. Oh my god, what he's doing out here with no TP, man? Oh, I mean, he could try and blink. He could try and hide.
No, there's no way out. There's no shot, man.
Out. Oh no.
That's a terrible death for him. Gotta get the lanes out somewhere else at least, but I was just about to say, like, Secret just got big items off that. They got Refresher on the Phoenix. They got BKB on the Shaman. They're gonna have a Refresher on the Doom. They have Refresher on the Pango. That's like, what is that? It's gonna be 3 Refreshers going to this next fight that were not there before. And you got a Refresher Shard that the Olacor's carrying around right now. You can give that to the Monkey King, and it's super good for him, right? Because he already has level 25 Wukong. That is 4 Refreshers out of nowhere, and that is just a ridiculous level up in fighting power. You could end the game with this right here, particularly if OG do not have buybacks available for a high ground defense. They have a Gyro and they have a Chihiro. They are very susceptible right now. Like, you're just gonna get, you know, a quad Refresher all in with all these spells, die and lose the game.
It's funny, the Phoenix took the Dazun Blood Right, so he's got double HP cost on his spells. He loses HP really quickly when he casts spells, but it doesn't matter because he's going to be an egg most of the time. The push from Secret. This area is completely owned by Secret. They will take the 1 barracks cleanly and get away. Maybe that was a... They really ensured we're getting 1 lane of barracks and there's no contest from OG, and then we're backing out.
Honestly, I think this is absolutely the correct call, because you still have Aegis for 230 here. Now all you do is you push bottom lane in all the way, and you do it again on bottom lane. And you force OG into a fight where they will still not have the Death Prophet buy or the Shadowing buy. You know it on timer. And you will have all your spells up, including all of those Refreshers, so you can drop another Wukong wards on the racks, play for the Megas. Even if you lose the fight, you're going to get Megas out of it. And you probably win the fight because you have 4 Refreshers right now. So if you just go down bottom lane here, it's looking real good for you right now. OG are going to have to pull something out of a hat here. They need more damage. They need Divine Rapier Gyro or like Refresher DP or something. Yeah. They just need more. Oof.
Yeah, Shad's trying to buy out Aghanim's Blessing and Divine Rapier, so he kind of needs every bit of farm that he can get for that. But if he gets that, right, if he gets doomed in the fight, if he's not able to have that impact, are the other 2 cores going to be able to put out the damage? And
right now, no. That's where it's going to take a good
right
jump.
Now it doesn't look like it.
I mean, I don't hate the idea of trying to fight Secret outside of your base as OG, because if you just let them set up ults on your racks, you're kind of getting mega no matter what.
Yeah.
So I actually think this smoke it's a nice idea. It's just Secret were very disciplined about it, did not give the opening. And now you get to walk down bottom lane here with a minute left on your Aegis. You could still look for the angle from behind if you're OG. Don't have a smoke to do it.
They're trying to play on this high ground ward.
It's a good ward.
Doom, he's going to walk forward underneath that ward sentry. They're going to try and jump him. He does have the Aegis, though. Rolling Thunder. Oh, it hit into some sort of rock there, so he wasn't able to hit the backline of the supports. Meanwhile, the Death Prophet surrounded, encased inside the Serpent Cage, and now the Supernova. The area is controlled, and it costs the Death Prophet her life. It's a 4 versus 5 now, and Secret, remember, they invested into all those Refreshers. They are just as strong. There is nothing missing from this lineup, potentially.
It was a nice idea from OG, just not enough damage, and that Doom still having Aegis means you can't commit into that fight like that. Did get the Wukong, he'll refresh for it though, and yeah, Wukong round 2.
Force that disruption goes out. Gyrocopter for the supports. They're going to pay the price for bailing out the Gyrocopter. The egg, though, maybe they can kill the egg. Yep, egg a little bit too far forward. The Gyrocopter and Dragonite aren't able to deal with that. Now the Wukong command has gone. It is much of the team fight of Team Secret. They'll get the extra kill. Cloud, he'll also die. That is 2 diebacks. 2 heroes that do not have buyback. Not likely to be punished for it. It's back up in a minute. But still a little bit of relief for OG. A little bit of time for them to think about what they need to do next.
Oh, that's huge for them. They were staring down getting megaed or that game being over. Instead, an overextension on this Phoenix gets punished really hard as they finally are able to hold a decent formation here. And I mean, how did Puppy even like end up that far? He refreshed, dove, egged. And it looks kind of okay, but the thing is it's outside the Wukong, and the DK's position on that egg is way too good for Secret to contest. Yeah. So just an overextension, OG take advantage of it, and that breaks that fight open. That high ground goes horribly wrong here as OG, they find an opening.
All right. OG, you're going to try and take advantage of the diebacks here. Tango has his now. But
he's looking.
Puppy, he's gonna lose his off the gold. X initiation.
Circle
Walk goes out. Got the initiation. Disruption goes out, but again, the Wukong's command just means that one of these heroes is always left behind. They can't save him, and then the support still though. Beeksa doing some decent damage here onto Kiritich. Got him to about half HP. If they could have traded out kills somewhere, it would have been fantastic. He goes back in. He sees the opportunity. Kiritich, he walks back in to try and help out for the kill, and Beeksa took full advantage of the situation.
No, OG, they're going for the throat right now. That is a death on the Doom. He does have buy, but he has no Doom for 90. Stormstormer, he's going to buy back. He's going to force the issue here.
I love this. An all-in play. OG didn't just play for, farming out their next item during that 2-minute window. They said, Secret, they're a little bit on the back foot. Let's see if we can get some mistakes out of them. Uses all of our resources to try and make this punch happen. Sunray burning down the Gyrocopter. Got off the BKB, though. He turns back into play. There goes the Supernova. Shad, he can't kill it. He needs a 4-staff down to low ground. Who will survive for now? Miksa slows down Kiritich. Kiritich not able to get a hold in that fight. Couldn't get a harpoon now. So nobody is going to be caught, really, on the side of OG.
What?
Reset.
He got shot.
He got shot. No! The Shadow Shaman comes in clutch and denies the Gyrocopter's retreat. Now Miksa, he'll also be caught up in it. The Gyrocopter had the buy. The Death Prophet does too. But Secret do manage to get a punish out of the situation, pulling more resources out of OG.
Oh, what a catch by Theolacor. Did not give up on the play and finds the juiciest target of all. Instant buyback forced out of that gyro. OG do not cleanly get out from that base. It feels like every time one of these teams pushes high ground, it backfires hard. And yeah, this game just keeps swinging back and forth. OG almost get megas out of that play, but they do not get that last Rax. It's going to hurt them here, as now it's Secret's turn to run down OG's side of the map.
At the same time, it does feel like you're on a bit of a precipice here. Secret, they're the ones winning the game, but also this fight goes poorly enough. They've invested buybacks. They get diebacks. They can straight up lose on this push, and they are facing into all 5 of OG. They're going to set up the Wukong's command. Play it slow here. Just hit the buildings with the Wukong's command. Rival takes a lot of damage here. A lot of poke here from OG. Gotta respect that. These spells, long-range spells, trying to get him on the disruption as the BKB fades away. And if they can get damage on him, he can't jump away into the trees. Can they get any follow-up here? Can anybody get the stun on this guy? He gets away with a boundless strike. And into the trees he goes. The missile will chase. Unlikely that they'll be able to follow it, though.
No, Secret had to go back. Their tier 4s were getting assaulted. These lanes are causing them big issues. But it does buy them time. Heritage back on the map, and the refreshers are coming off cooldown. It's a big deal here.
Please tell me that this ward inside their base is not going to stay up forever here.
Yeah, I can't believe this is not dewarded. This is an insanely good ward. By the way, Roche was up that entire time. They were opting to go for that play over just forcing the Roche.
I love when games get like this because it's like messy and both teams are making hard decisions, and both teams have oftentimes opted for the more aggressive play to try and get the enemy team to blink, try and get them to fail their defenses of their base, instead of going for the safer route of just like playing for an advantage and playing to secure that Roshan and then build up more net worth. Both teams are going for the knockout punch, and both teams haven't gotten it yet.
If you're OG though, I mean, I feel like time is on your side right now, like with the bottom lane going in, and the fact that one of those tier 4s is already gone. I think if you're just patient here, you will be rewarded eventually. You cannot force this Roche. That is, I don't know about this. I don't think you could force this into double Wukong, double Rolling Thunder in the pit.
He could have just been hitting it, right? He's got the Aghanim Scepter. They could have slow chipped it down, but he committed the exorcism for it. Serpent Wards doesn't get the trap. Disruption goes out, and the Monkey King's not in position to immediately get a Wukong's command. So this time around, the disruption is a save. Half HP on Roshan. Both teams see it though. Serpent Wards in the pit.
Running out. Your DK forms at half. Kind of got to go here if you're OG.
They do. Rival playing his time. Supernova inside the pit. They can't go for it. Trying to get forced out. Mixa doesn't get up the high ground. Gets up the BKB. Now gets up to the high ground. But now the Wukong's command is going to be dropped. And Roshan, it's going the way of Secret unless somebody makes the hero play. Daze tries to make the hero play. It's not enough. The timing's slightly off there. He almost had it. A blink disruption into an attempted Aegis grab. Silence on 3 though. Beautiful setup from Mixa as the Wukong's command goes down, and the buyback from the Shadow Demon gives them their numbers. They take advantage of the situation. They get some catch here. They will get 1, not 2 or 3 on the original silence that was set up by Mixa. They get something. They do not get a massive lead.
Secret got what they came for. Aegis, Refresher Shard. I think they popped it in the pit though. Still some refreshers up, but ultimately they take it away from OG. They have a dieback on the Shaman, but it only cost OG that Shadow Demon buy, as theirs are going to start to tick back up here, and they can push. They have a 5-on-4, I mean 5-on-5 with Aegis technically. Downside for them is another Refresher Shard to Secret is just brutal here, because you can put Aegis plus Refresher on the Monkey King, and now it's so hard to push and fight into this guy.
Yeah, it's like you have to get the Wukong's command out of him, reset, don't lose anybody in that, and then try and do it again. And that's just Mixa. It's going to be the first attempt. Disruption. Got the grab on him. He's already at half HP. He's gone. But the damage came in, and that Monkey King died fast. Could he die a second time that quickly? He jumps away into the trees. Does manage to get back. A buyback from the Death Prophet, and OG are continuing to commit here. They couldn't get the Megas, though. The Doom is now expired, but remember, a refresher is up. More is coming. Mixa, he jumps right in, immediately silences the exorcism this time around. He's going to make sure he gets something out of it, but he gets doomed up again, and he's isolated from his team. No saves are coming. His rival has forced him off the Wukong's man, and the changing of the guard. He managed to dodge some damage and keeps himself alive. He shoved back the rest of OG, kept his team isolating the Death Prophet, and because of his facet, manages to stay alive.
Dude, Shad Hurricane Pike that monkey off of the Boundless Strike-In. That was kind of nasty, but ultimately, you can't find the kill on him. It costs you the Death Prophet dieback here, as Mixa just commits twice for the fight, and you still don't even get the racks.
Yep.
Like, you didn't get the Megas out of that. You got Puppy's buyback, and that's it. Neither team can get what they want on these high grounds. It's way too difficult.
They did also get some other resources, right? The Refresher Shard did have to be used by Rival,
yes.
So that is now out of there.
And his Aegis,
Refresher
of course.
on Doom is on cooldown for 2 minutes. So it doesn't mean Secret can just go straight to the high ground with full confidence. They might do it, but they are going to be lacking in some resources.
And you did get a Scotty up for Rival on this monkey. That's pretty big. He is getting beastly, man. I mean, this is arguably the hardest scaling hero in this late game. If he can get Wukong off, no one's fighting him.
All right, they're going to get into the base while the Death Prophet is gone. It's a 4 versus 5. With 2 buybacks, Monkey King and Pango can give up their lives to ensure Mega's here without, the fear of OG just running it back at them.
You're pushing without tier 5 neutrals, though.
Trying to get the early initiation. Shadow Demon, he spots him, but the Wukong's command still went off. That's trouble. Now they're inside of the Wukong's command, and the Stormer Dragon Knight can't seem to get out. He's dead. He's going to have to use a buyback for this one. The Supernova and the Wukong's command controls the area for now, but they still had Glyph. So the barracks won't die yet. They'll be able to make use of their buybacks. But the barracks
just
are
want
low.
the Megas, man. It's all they want.
It's so hard to make the full commitment here to jump in. The balance strike out, but a nice disruption. Puppy uses his Supernova now defensively, but it sets up a gyrocopter. He's going to mow down the egg, and the Shadow Demon, the Shadow Shaman rather, he's going to die for it as well. He's trying to get the protection to the egg. They do manage to get the Megas, but they're going to lose their heroes for it. It is 2 supports dead and 1 core. OG, they will have a chance to run it down. They will have the numbers advantage. They will have a 4 versus 5 into Megas.
They also have the tier 5 neutral advantage. They got 4 of theirs up. Secret have none. That's a massive advantage going to this fight. The Stygian on the gyro, Fallen Sky on the DK, Divine Regalia for this Death Prophet. Outgoing damage on this hero is significant. The Secret, they're still sitting on all tier 4s. Plus a tier 3
we're
shift.
guaranteed to be looking at Megas on Megas, but OG have the chance to go throne here. You could already see the Pango is desperately trying to cut the wave. He knows if they can kill this next wave, maybe they can get backdoor protection up. Double buybacks used, and OG will not go for the throne.
Oh, are you really not going to try and throw in here? I mean, refresher buyout for this Death Prophet. I think you just got to go. You've got to believe that you have what it takes to finish this off right now. You know there's no Phoenix.
Get the tier 5s, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have such a big item advantage.
But you're pushing into Wukong's command, and you're pushing into a Stygian Desolator Wukong's command. That is tough to beat, man.
Yeah, that's... Man, if you had ways to start on this monkey, well, that's something.
I mean, the throne is exposed. They still have Glyph. So they can't all in for the throne. Not yet. Cloud taking so much damage is already going to die. He's going to have to use his buyback.
Okay.
And he will not have a Rolling Thunder on that extra life.
Yeah, he got messed up. Also, that's Wukong down. No refresh available for this monkey. He does not have a shard.
He was using refresher shards before. Oh, he's trying to catch the creep wave with the courier. They get the initiation though. Out, disruption goes out on a Shat. He's able to push himself away. Rival makes the commitment and immediately got stunned up in the ice path. Another buyback to be used. OG are whittling down Team Secret now, pulling life after life. There is nothing left for Secret. There is no more blood from the stone. They have pulled everything out of them, but these last 5 lives.
Another Wukong in 30. Exo running out. This is your window to try and end this game.
They have
You've
another exorcism. There's a refresher up. They can play this a little bit slow if they want to. Doom's going to be used down. Supernova as well. They have to get kills out of this situation. They've got a big one. The Dragon Knight's dead, and so is the Shackle. Wait, no, not dead yet. A disruption goes out. Can he get off something through this time? He gets off a couple of flat-handed shots. Anybody dead? They got the Doom. They got a dieback out of him. Immediate buyback from the gyrocopter. If they can get more, they can still have the numbers advantage. But the Death Prophet dies a well, and now it's Team Secret. Now they have the numbers. Now it's going to be a 3 versus 4 if Secret want to try their luck at a push.
Dude, you just can't go high ground. Like, no matter what happens, going high ground is wrong. You should have just farmed. You should have just sat in your base. Why are you trying?
This is why the Falcons of the worlds do not go high ground.
Somewhere they're laughing their ass off. We may be boring, but we win these games. Oh, there's so much on the line, dude. This game has just gone on forever. So many pushes. So many kills. We're like approaching 100 kills. It's also...
All right, Secret.
It's tough to keep track. It's tough to keep track of all these buys too, because they're all at different timers. Like if you're in this game, it's not as if you push and all the timers are together. Like you look at these timers, they're all over the place. It's just a mess. But yeah, like you said, tier 5 neutrals. There's a disgraced Regalia now for Kirtage because he died disgracefully, so he gets nothing.
I mean, so did Death Prophet. So it's disgraced Regalia on both sides.
Double Stygian for the monkey and the Pango. That is That's just straight nasty, dude. Like, I don't know. You get hit by these guys, you're dead. It's not a risk. Dude. This is wild. This is a wild game right now, and we're gonna have some buybacks come back up. We're also gonna have the last tier 5 neutral Book of the Dead. We finally got one. Oh, I guess Daze is still waiting on his. But,
yeah, I feel like things have changed a little bit on the Book of the Deads. I do feel like we're seeing less of them. Maybe these teams specifically are not that interested in the item, but it used to be we would have like 2 or 3 per side, right?
Maybe they just didn't roll them. You can always just not roll this item.
That's true. That's true.
I think teams still value it a lot. Like I think Kadara would have taken like over a minute to hold if he'd gotten it.
All right, Rapier into Aegis. Shad.
It's powerful.
He's set up here for sure.
Glyph is also super important in this game. Like you need to maintain your glyph if you're both teams and use it at the right moment. But nonetheless, it'll be a buyback
juggle all the items that are inside this pit. He gets the banner with the courier.
It's too much gunk, man.
It really is.
If you're a Seeker, you're just trying to get your buybacks back up right now. I mean, 2 biggest thing for you are buybacks available and a refresher for Monkey, because that's the one refresher they're missing because he's been playing off those shards, but you have to finish it up here if you're rival pretty soon. Probably drop Nullifier or swap it out for BKB and just play for double Wukong, not the double BKB, but that feels a little bad too. But you need it here. You need an extra Wukong, especially in these base defenses. So that's what Secret's looking for.
Want to give props to Valve for their the neutral item change that they did. The fact that you can choose the enchantment for the tier 5 but still keep your tier 4 means we're seeing a lot of this situation now where it's like they don't want to give up magnifying monocle because it's the only cast range item that you can get. So the Shadow Demon is like holding on to his magnifying monocle but still is able to have like the tier 5 enchantment. I think that kind of like helps decrease the impact of like RNG on these tier 5s a bit.
That's true. Or you can just roll well.
That's true. Luck is a skill for sure. Level 30 almost here for Gyrocopter. Unfortunately, that's one of the sadder carry level 3s. 30-second cooldown. That's pretty
not
whatever.
Too relevant.
They can get to Dragonite level 30 now. That's.
I mean, we say that, but Secret already have some, right? They should have the monkeys here, and they already have the Dooms. So he has the Break and the Mute.
Yeah.
Which is honestly pretty good this game.
Like Dragonite is just screwed at that point. Can't use Satanic, can't use Worm's Wrath. Like what do you or Dragon's Blood or whatever it's called?
I mean, you are truly doomed if that lands on you.
Yeah.
OG looking for the push.
Oh Jesus, Stormstormer is just gunning for it, man. Tried to get a pig. He could have gotten it. Maybe it would have been amazing, but
I like how there's like these. There's like 2 trees at the base that this monkey can be on, you know?
Oh yeah.
There's like this one and the one tree on the right. And you know he's probably on one of these. I feel like it'd be pretty tempting to just go in and try and cut them all.
If you had like old Macropyre that burned down the trees, like you could probably legitimately just like outside of the base Macropyre that, and there's probably like an 80% chance that you've stunned the Monkey King.
Yeah, you get him the first time for sure. Unfortunately, they have 0 spells that cut trees in this game.
Yeah,
you'd have to like Hurricane Pike over it, which I mean that's not what you're looking to do here at 70 minutes in.
No, that's insanely dangerous.
The question though is how do you end this game? Like you have buyback advantage right now if you're OG. You have Aegis. You have Divine Rapier. What changes here? I guess Boots of Travels with buybacks? So you can truly take the fight in Secret's base with 10 heroes? It's kind of it.
Yeah. I mean, if you have outpost control, it doesn't feel like it's that big of a difference. Well, it has to be faster, but at the same time, don't they also have to reset anyway when they die? Because they're usually underneath Supernova or Wukong's command. Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you die and those ults come out, you have to TP on your heroes, so the second those ults are out, you can go back in again.
Okay.
Like, you can't be waiting for some guy to walk from outposts. You're missing your window. As Puppy Paws comes out. A little high ping.
I thought you said you didn't want to piss off Puppy.
I mean, it's a good meme, you know? It's a good meme.
Yeah, do it.
How many times do I actually get to say that meme with him in the game, you know?
That's true.
It's rare nowadays. I got to take advantage of it.
Well, you know, chat, just remember, Puppy makes it to TI. Avery may have put his body on the line for your entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
All right, boots of travel for days. How many boots of travels are we getting? Who has it queued up?
I mean,
Just
Stormstormer has
days?
bots.
Yeah.
They're definitely thinking about them collectively.
Going back for Shivas, man, it's crazy. We don't have a Shivas on OG.
Yeah, it's a big component that's missing. We're also missing Ags for the Shadow Demon. Could be pretty nice here. It's usually like a pretty solid late game Ags. Just opting for more survivability. Honestly, refresher Jakiro at this point.
The Doom, if you, I mean, he's already probably the one getting demonic purged, but if you just have extra of them, it's nice. This Doom is, he gets his initiation, and then I think he's just not able, because normally Doom's like a good chase down hero, but they have to stay inside Supernova and Wukong's command, and he's likely getting demonic purged, so he's not really moving anyway. So he's not able to like play fights that I think you usually would like to play as Doom.
No, there's no way. Nobody is tanky anymore in this game. Like, it's just about who gets the damage out better. And for Secret, that's all about Supernova and Wukong with a little bit of Rolling Thunder, maybe a Doom sprinkled in there. And for OG, it's about fighting around the Gyro and the Dragon Knight, right? Like, you have to just keep these guys alive and let them just hit people.
We're almost
ideally not under those ults.
We're almost to the rerolls on tier 5s, which may or may not be good for some of these heroes, but the important thing is to replace the disgraced regalias for Kiritich and for Mixa.
Honestly, the way this game is going, I feel like this is one of those rare games where I kind of don't want the regalia. I feel like that's crazy, but I genuinely think there might be some better choices because I just don't think anybody can survive in the fights. Like, there's just no way to survive, so then you rather have something that works all the time. And I don't think you're lacking damage. Like, I don't think either team is like, we need 20% more damage, you know?
Okay, but
like, how much damage do you need in this game?
Let me make an argument for you, and I don't know if the math actually checks out here. I'm sure it has to, right? Shad, he gets a regalia because he is the one person who, I think a second life is not nearly as impactful. He has Divine Rapier, right? So he's more all in on his one life. And I think regalia might be more damage than Stygian Desolator, or at least it's more team damage, right? He's going to be doing more damage in a full 5-on-5. And then Stormstormer can take the Stygian Desolator, right? So they could still have that single target focus and still have that orb.
That would be fine. I think Gyro's the one hero I can see it for, particularly if he has Aegis, because the 20% on his flak hits is incredibly significant, whereas the armor is like, you're only hitting the guy you Stygian first and hit him.
Right.
It's not as good.
And you're no longer getting damage out of Stygian Desolator. I forgot that was the thing. So
yes. But 13 armor is, I think it is more than 20% on a lot of heroes in a lot of situations.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Shouldn't underestimate it. That said, we saw a block of cheese. Pretty nice here. And he did re-roll that Regalia for Helm of the Undying, which has got to be pretty good here.
I mean, that's guaranteed one more Infernal Blade hit, right? When he's chasing down heroes, he gets to live for 5 seconds. It's a 4-second cooldown, so you're at least getting that. You're getting more Scorched Earth damage. Maybe you get a guaranteed another Doom goes off or something like that.
See, that's what I'm saying. I feel like they felt it too. They're like, I don't want another Regalia. I don't think I'm surviving. I don't think the extra damage really matters. Like, you rather just have something that impacts the fight for longer, or even more books of the dead or something else, so you can push. Nobody can push this game. This is some cursed game where every time you go high ground, that your odds get worse.
What I haven't actually, oh my god, it's almost a 50-50 game according to Dodo Plus. That's so funny that it really never stretched too far in one direction. Like very early on, it favored OG at that 30-minute mark when they were getting their full mid-game swing, but past that, it has never been past a 7:30 game.
It might go exactly 50-50. It's inching. There's just been so many kills in this game too. Like, holy crap, man.
Yeah.
All right, next fight. Everybody has buyback. 10 buybacks available. Stormer just walking in the river says, "What's up?"
This guy has
He's
had
about
some,
to find out.
Some bold plays that have not paid out before. Dangerous position to put yourself in, and Karate's going to try and take advantage of the situation. They go for the kill and they got him.
Well, if that was a bait, it was not a very successful one.
No, and Rival, he peeked his head into that triangle area. OG were not very well set up. He might have been able to get some supports out of the situation, but as it stands, it's just the one kill on the Dragon Knight. If Roshan spawns fast enough, probably Team Secrets. I don't know if you commit buyback to play for Roshan anymore.
It doesn't feel as good as it used to. I guarantee that. Especially into the secret lineup. Like, you just cannot win the Roche fight against this lineup. It's not possible. Even with buybacks, I do not see how, unless Monkey King just dies twice.
Yeah.
This is an uncontestable Roche.
I'm just saying, Dragon Knight does have a Stygian Desolator available on his next round of tier 5s.
Yeah,
he could take that, he could take that, and he could take the attack range and pass range faster. They're actually going to try and have a poke here. That is a bold play from these supports. I mean, they get good damage out of that macro fire. Rival is kind of in an awkward position at half HP. With the Shadow Demon having the hell of a dying, he still gets some spells off. He had to change of guard, though. Rival, he was able to get back. He refreshes immediately off the shard in case anything was coming their way. But
all right, they got it. They threw a lot on that Shadow Demon, but they got it. That's Aegis for the monkey.
His ass for sure.
Yeah, they really got his ass. That's like 10,000 damage put into Shadow Demon. Just a giant FU. As they secure Roche, I genuinely don't think OG had much interest actually contesting that. Just poke it, see what happens. Still sitting on this Divine Rapier for Shad with a refresher shard from the previous Roche, so there's just not much room to use these slots anyway. Though I'm sure he would have enjoyed an Aegis. And now you get scanned, Secret pushing in. Trying to make something happen. Kiritich, he's on a sentry, but he gets the Doom off anyway.
Does manage to get that initiation. Forstaff trying to get the Death Prophet out. Now a stun onto Kiritich, though. Stormer turns back around, trying to kill the Doom, but he gets the cheese up, full heal. Now Shad is joining in on the damage. Put some good damage onto Kiritich, but they killed the Death Prophet and are being able to reset now. A couple flat cannon shots getting their way. Ghost Scepter helps the Tango be able to dodge the damage. Meanwhile, on top of the outhouse, it is going to be the Shadow Shaman going down. OG will find something for this. They lost some heroes, lose some buybacks. They could get the full supports. That's not the end of the world, for sure.
That's an expensive price for 2 supports. Triple buyback there, including that big Death Prophet buy, plus Helm going down. Yeah, that's costly. Didn't even lose the Aegis here of your Secret. So that's definitely a successful team fight for them. Still have Doom available off the back of that refresher, so they can look mid. Yeah, they want a little more here.
They do. They could get something. Leaks that jumps over to the other side of the Wukong's command. The Wukong's command is being kited out pretty well with a demonic purge placed on the Doom. Good BKB TP out. Nothing to stop him there. But Rival, he was unable to make it away to the trees in time. Shad, with his new pickup, the Swift Blink, closes the gap. They get the Monkey King. They get him once. They get him twice. Now it's going to be OG. They used the buybacks to hold the team fight earlier, and now they can try and get the buybacks at a Team Secret. But in order to do so, Avery, it means they have to go into the dreaded high ground.
I don't know, dude. Like, are you surprised supposed to do this? Everything we've learned in this game, it says you're not supposed to.
There is no other option. You have to get the buybacks out of them. That bare minimum.
want all in it.
He's gone. Instantly, the Dragon Knight is dead. And Shaddix uses BKB. He gets bashed up. He's in trouble. He turns around, does the damage to the Doom. Doom's almost dead. Doom is dead. So is Puppey. The Phoenix is gone. The attempted box in. They actually went for the death.
Stormstorm's throwing it.
Maybe he had to cancel it. Stormstorm goes for it. They kill the throne. They got it out of him. They got the glyph out of him, and with enough lives, they end the game. What a way to do it. OG prove that sometimes ramming into that brick wall does work, Avery.
This is the easiest high ground of their team's career, I believe. I mean, they knew it all along, right? You just go 100 and...
Game 2, and you see that or not, this Void Spirit works out for OG. I think the offlane meta changed pretty dramatically over the last few weeks. We talked about the dying offlane that became super meta very quickly over the last few weeks, and then Axe is the other one that I'm hearing. It's just, I haven't seen this one as much. Saw a little bit in some of the other regional qualifiers, but the word that I'm hearing is this hero is just tearing it up in the off.
His spells are strong. A little extra slow on the
Team
battle
Secret.
hunger.
They run into OG, but it's a fight in OG. They are here to
that's
fight.
damage.
It is not going to be a straightforward 5-on-5. Found the strike, hits on a 3, well played, but a lot of damage out from the Whirling Death onto the Doom. Disruption to make sure he can't get away. When he comes back in, it's first blood for Mixa. So the OG already off to a good start with the first blood for their Timber Saw, and I love this. They're going to immediately smoke back up. They still have an opportunity to get multiple bounty runes and maybe even another kill.
Daze's kill involvement continues here, already on the board. And that is a nice first blood to get. We talked about how much this lineup needs to snowball. That is one way to guarantee it a little bit here, as they will split the runes. So that extra smoke doesn't yield anything, but it will send the disruptor to base, refill a little regen here. And I am very curious to see how these lanes go, because I think it should be a very clean win for Stormstormer mid, but we do see these monkeys get out of a lot of tough situations, and I do think it's a good monkey game in a lot of ways. So if Ribal can make something happen here, just go even, he should be happy with the outcome. And more important to this bottom lane for me, like this Void Spirit versus Axe, this is a real interesting one, because my gut read is that Axe should basically free farm this lane, especially with the Shaman support. You just throw out early nukes early. Like, as long as you don't get glimpsed into some crazy bad position, I think it's hard for OG to man up on you, and a free farming Axe in this game looks pretty juicy, I'd say. Right. You are playing against Shadow Demon. That's the one downside. Like, this Shadow Demon matchup is disgustingly bad for Axe, but outside of that, you have pretty good call targets, and most importantly, you were just picked as a stun setup for the rest of the lineup. Like, this is not a game where the Axe has to go in and just solo kill cores. So,
For sure.
I have some faith in this pick.
Have you seen, on the topic of Void Spirit, have you seen the Void Spirit shard tech that people are doing now?
To kill the waves?
Yeah, they buy an early shard and they use it to farm out waves, and you just throw it down and you don't even have to show your hero, right? You literally could just kill a full wave.
Yeah, it's strong.
So you're able to do that kind of like ghost shove stuff.
Might be a reason we see it flex to carry. Like, you don't have to go a Battle Fury build-up on this hero from the safe lane. You can go shard plus fighting items and still be able to push waves and farm pretty fast. Might open up this hero a lot more as a 1, because his stat line is still pretty crazy. I know people kind of dump on the intrinsic edge in 8, but ultimately it does make him a pretty strong laner, because he just has extra regen, he's got good armor, he has really high base damage as the lane goes on and on. He's a good body.
He's one of the universal heroes that still has that bite to him, right?
Yep. And of course his talents and scales still pretty ridiculous if you get 5 or 6 slotted. Can be a long way to get there, but a lot of gas in the tank. So far though, Mixa is the one having a very good time in this laning phase. Like, he is free farming the CS chart. He had that first blood. He's getting big up here, putting some damage into that strength damage Doom. Already has boots plus braces. This Timber is in a really good position to snowball this game.
I think Timber is one of my favorite offlaners to get first blood on, because I think the time you punish Timbersaw is in those first 2 levels, and if you're able to just show up to lane with a bracer, I think it's just it makes a world of difference for the hero. It kind of guarantees that you get to that level 3 area, your damage starts amping up, and the trade-offs become a lot more effective from Timbersaw.
For sure. I mean, also this hero getting to the levels before the carry is huge.
Sure.
Because sometimes you can just chain whirl.
Disruption intended to catch the Phoenix mid dive, instead hits Mixa. Could have been a kill. Would have been a kill if he got the disruption, but sadly no.
Yeah, unfortunately you're playing against Puppy, and you know the fear, the fear factor got to you a little bit.
Yeah. 21 and 5 on Stormstormer.
On a lesser player, that's all I'm saying.
True. Stormstormer he's definitely taking advantage of the range versus melee matchup.
Putting in some work, yeah. But I think this is an okay-ish outcome. You know, it's like you have boots up, you're close enough within the CS chart. Probably have to spend a little more on regen, but again, you're just trying to get out of this lane. Another battle hunger on Kadaro bottom, but he's chilling. This axe lane is going fine for Cloud. But Shad is also free farming it and did not have to invest in a lot of regen. So his Void Spirit's big chilling right now. I thought Secret were going to be able to put a little more pressure on him. Maybe the first blood trade did not do him a lot of favors. You're behind on XP a little bit. Enemies get level 2 first. It kind of changes a lot of this stuff. And this hero is tanky with the Resonant Pulse going through.
Well, Timbersaw having a free game means that even if they're not getting kills, like on that Phoenix, we see what's going on here. You could still double stack up Ancients, which is something that Secret will not have that same kind of luxury. So OG may not have a net worth advantage right now, but they do have a potential net worth advantage just because of the amount of gold they've stacked up in their triangle area. Nice pullback there on the Remnant. Didn't quite get him back into tower range.
Cloud is going to go this Vanguard, so you go this early Vanguard on Axe, you want to get aggressive with it. You want to push the lanes in, you want to dive under the tower, you want to chase heroes off the lane. Otherwise, you're better off just getting a faster-ish blade mail or farming up some stacks, stuff like this. Vanguard's always strong in this hero.
Leaving Kiritich alone. Kiritich almost getting caught in a bad situation. Unfortunately, Scorched Earth will mean he can always walk away, but it shows that the Phoenix is not there. They very clearly went on the Doom. Beatings didn't show. He's down in the bottom lane, but Theolacourt get caught in a bad situation there. Got a little bit too close to the tower. Gets caught by that Remnant, but the Monkey King coming in. That's what they were playing for. Level 6 on the Monkey King. The Wukong's command does immediately get them a kill, though. Failing to find anything so far. Shad coming back into play, but he's got his shield, so even if he's a bit low, and it's Daze who's going to slow down Cloud with the disruption, Kadaro with the shocks, and then Glimpse not even needed, pulls back Corpse. OG getting much better at the laning phase now. That was a really big swing.
I'm surprised Secret were going for that kind of aggressive dive into this lineup. Like, that is not the strength in how your drafts pair up. Fighting into OG early sounds nightmarish with glimpses, poisons. The Lina can easily TP, unless the Monkey King is just chasing people down with an early Jingu.
Oh, Stormstormer, he's gonna get greedy. He thinks that it's just him and the Monkey King alone in the trees, but Theolacourt managed to run his way all the way deep down into the mid lane. Still though, Mixa getting the solo kill in top lane is equally large.
This first blood for the Timberwolves so far, he's been able to take this lane over, free farm it, and now just solo kill Doom. Absolutely destroying this matchup. Level 7 to the Doom's 5.5. He has ruined Kiritich's game. Absolutely ruined it.
This is a matchup that can go bad for the Timbersaw too. Like Doom actually can, thanks to Infernal Blade and Scorched Earth. He does so much magic damage. He can actually win the lane against Timbersaw, but it's, you know, it swings heavily one way or the other. Whoever wins it, they usually win it by a lot. And Timbersaw definitely is winning it by a lot.
Little things adding up here for OG in this early game. That's exactly what they want. If they can get some levels on the supports now, they're going to be really happy. They still have stacks on the triangle as well. However, they were scouted by Dire Wards. They're going to make
another
a move
kill onto the Doom. He's just dead. There's no way out of it. Disruption into Whirling Death into Chakram is just like, he's 75% of his HP is gone instantly.
They've really put the screws in on this matchup. It's looked good. This is one of those things that I think it's caught Secret off guard, how much pressure he's been able to put up here with the Timber. And now if you're Secret, how are you gonna find a trade on this map? Because you can't really steal the stacks. You don't have the greatest heroes for it in this monkey mid. You could really try and force it, but it's not that efficient. Ideally, you bring Rival top and try and kill this Timber. But the wards from OG are on point, and this is going to be a smoke that probably yields nothing up here as he just backs off. And now he can just go do stacks while you're smoking on him.
Their triangle ward got dewarded too, so they don't even have all the stacks right now.
Missed the leap.
As the disruptor comes in through the side, so it's support for support so far. And the Wukong's man really does. Oh, he got glimpsed back too. He's gonna be glimpsed back into the Timbersaw. That is disaster for Team Secret. 2 different fights in the first 10 minutes that have gone horrifically wrong for them. OG now extending out a 4,000 network.
And amp damage Lina just pummeling your mid tower. He's probably just gonna get it here with a bot. That is mega value for Stormer. What a sequence for OG, just creating some objective pressure on the map with the Shadow Demon stacking and forcing Secret into an awkward situation where who's going to come to deal with this? And now you're getting glimpse killed. This is where this lineup is going to shine. Like, you're going to run around, you're going to kill everybody with glimpse. You have an insane amount of damage early from all 3 of your cores. Do whatever you want right now. You can smoke kill some ancient stack too. Yeah, why not? Just accelerate even more. This is super efficient. And
Void
Secret
Spirit
getting
to
no
kind
trade-off.
of Void Spirit to frontline and kind of get them to try, get them to retreat. And then you glimpse them back, and then you're pulling them into an Ether Remnant. You're pulling them into an LSA, right? They're coming out of that glimpse and probably instantly disabled, likely bursted.
Yeah, this OG lineup has a lot of synergy between the glimpse and the disruption. It sets up a lot.
Mid lane, TP's trying to defend the situation. Steal the core. Not exactly sure, and maybe he was dewarding.
They are executing this game right now. This game can snowball very quickly for OG. Like, this is what this lineup's built to do. If you continue to execute it here, you could win this game in 10 minutes from now. Like, it could just be in a state where Secret have no play options available. Because again, their lineup is pretty greedy in a way. Like, they need time for Doom to get Midas and online. They need the defusal on the Monkey, but he had the tough lane matchup in the Lina. And Axe as a hero also needs time. This is a hero that doesn't really do a lot until Blade Mail Blink is up. And he didn't have stacks to go back to.
I think that is my one complaint about the Axe. I think it applies a little bit to Centaur right now too. It's just like, when you hit your timing, it hits really hard, but you do have to wait for it. You do have to wait for Blade Mail Blink. And
sure.
If you choose to go Vanguard, it means that timing is delayed, even if your laning phase is stronger. So if things go bad in the first 15 minutes, then you can't rely on your offlaner to bail you out.
Well, that's absolutely true. This hero is not great at pulling you back on his own in a lot of situations.
Even worse if he gets picked off as he's trying to farm up triangle and the smoke went his way. Timbersaw looks to slow him down, and they got him on the glimpse.
Too easy, man. OG can just run into anything they want right now. You can steal some of these ancients. More ancients for Meeksa. Dude, he is so goddamn fat.
He's
like,
huge.
what in the world? He has 650 GPM at 12 minutes. That is wild.
He's got the damage from the Kaya, and soon he will be untouchable because of the Aghanim Scepter. Secret have a Timbersaw problem for sure.
Now, you can doom him, but feels like you're just dying so fast. You're not gonna have a chance
Disruption,
to this guy.
Bixa TPing in off of that play. Meanwhile, they go for the glimpse on mid at the same time. It's OG this time around who are splitting up into the two-man teams and trying to get kills on both sides. They do manage to get Theo LaCour. It does look like they gave up on the Doom kill, though. Doom just TP'd out after the disruption, so.
They're eyeing this Timber top. This is not the guy you can kill.
Shadow Demon, though, if he steps a little too far forward, maybe Rival can get him with the Wukong's command super.
Oh, he cut the tree.
He cut down the tree. No, the Supernova will protect him. There's no punish. Rival will survive, but it means they miss out on the kill on the Monkey King. And the Doom, who just TP'd back, he doesn't have a TP to make that play again. Fortunately, oh wait, no, they still have the glimpse. They didn't catch him with the glimpse. They started off on him, and they will finish him off with the glimpse.
Everything is going right for OG right now. Oh, we got another tree cut.
Rival, he'll turn around. He desperately wants at least a kill on today's. He will get it, but he will die.
The Timber is just racking up the gold, man. Like, this guy is completely out of control. Don't have good early answers for him. A lot of the answers in the draft are predicated on you scaling in this game. Having late game Sunray, you have 0 points in Sunray. Having late game Doom, we've seen 0 Dooms. Having an Axe who can set up the other heroes, he doesn't do it himself. Those other heroes have been disabled. So when you look back on these answers, none of them are alive right now for Secret. OG getting whatever they want. They're going to find another glimpse here. They can get vision on the Shaman.
No way Theolacor would be able to juke this out, so it is just kill after kill. 14 kills, 7,000 net worth lead for OG, and looking down the barrel of yet another 2-0 in the Western European qualifier.
It's going to come down to the Cloud here. Like, you're going to have to get this blink on Axe and make some big plays, and Secret are going to have to go with it and just pray it's enough to bring down these really tanky frontliners. It's a lot of HP to get through, but it is doable if you throw everything. Like, if you throw Shaman Ward Supernova on an Axe call with a Wukong Doom on maybe that target or somebody else, you can bring these heroes down. Does not feel great right now, though, for Team Secret, that's for sure. Especially as this Lina, like, we haven't talked a lot about the Lina this game, but he's just going to scale, and he's going to be cleaning up the map as Mixa finds another solo pick-off. This map is going to get closed out fast because you're going to have the bots on the Lina that can connect to any of these plays, and if you show on lanes, Timber, Void Spirit, they just run at you. They chase you down, you get glimpsed. Lina can bots into back to fight up. It's so much effective map control right now for OG.
And the response to that is Team Secret, you have to punish one of those signs, right? You have to punish the Timber Saw, the Void Spirit running into you and try and set up some sort of 5-man trap, but that is so risky.
You also need the Axe Blink to do it.
Yeah.
You still don't have. It's just a slow crawl. To get there, you're going to bleed another support kill here. As you're doing Roshan, OG just get everything they dreamed of right now.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that Team Secret were doing in game one when it comes to like making 2 plays at once around the map because they had enough confidence and a bit of a lead. Here, OG have a huge lead and certainly enough confidence that Team Secret won't really be able to do much in return.
Just gotta farm your core items and take that one good fight. Yeah, you do have some comeback mechanics, some Doom gold mechanics, you know. Doom can equalize a lot of net worth as well. Just gotta find the space. And Aegis for OG, 4 minutes here. They can play really aggressive with this.
Time is now for Secret. Vanguard, Blade Mail, Blink Dagger. It's all up for the Axe. And Puppy, he's trying to beat no Cloud. He called before he blinked. Oh no!
What did he do?
He called
Why did he do this?
He blinked. You gotta punch the numbers before you call, buddy.
Not like this.
Oh, it was all set up for this. They were bleeding out heroes all over the map, but it was all okay if they could make the axe timing work. They had to hit the timing perfectly. They had to hit it hard. They had to knock OG down a peg, and instead, the exact opposite happens. He fumbles it entirely. And OG are full swing of things now. 11,000 net worth lead.
That is not what you were. That is worst case scenario. What you were looking for with that. I mean, now it feels like you really have to just make a desperation play. Like, just smoke out here and look for anything. This game is completely slipping away from you.
Yeah, you don't really have other options. I mean, maybe this
the other
time
option
around,
is just farm, but
they can get call. I mean, they still have Supernova too. So if they get the initiation, they'll get it on days here. So a little pick off on days. That's nice. OG are not going to try and get something in response, though.
I mean, anytime you can find Shadow Demon in this game, it's nice because then you don't have to jump somebody who's getting disrupted. Yeah. So it is a big deal to find days first in this game. And this will buy time to farm up a little bit here for Secret. You finish the Radiance on the Doom. The Olacore constantly split pushing bottom. It's going to be on OG,
I got
though.
something for you on the Void Spirit. He is a Mage Slayer buyer. And Mage Slayer against these carry Dooms, I think, is super effective.
Yeah, sure. If you can get the hit in, it's pretty nice.
There's a tree, rival. Not going to be able to jump away in time, and once the Timber Saw's on top of him. Oh. Had to make sure he couldn't get the Boundless Strike save. He almost got it off, but good Static Storm from Kadaro.
Disruptor continues to shine. When you're ahead, this hero puts you more ahead. The Olacore barely getting out. Little Tumbler Toy action. Shaman Classic. Secret just praying they can split push this map for like another 20 minutes. Maybe find some pickoffs.
OG's getting so big. BKB soon on the Lina. And Mixa as well. So they're going to hit a double BKB timing. They already have the Aghanim Scepter on the Void Spirit. What's he opting for? He's going to buy the Shard next.
I can't blame him. He's just mega farmed. And Tormentor time for OG. Dodge that gank bottom. It's a nice read of the map. Don't give up anything in this period. And see who has. Get a
He's
shard
definitely
on
wanting the Demonic Shard out of this, Demonic Purge rather. And instead it goes to Kadaro. My opinion, much worse than the Shadow Demons.
Yeah, not a premier shard.
Especially since he has only level 1 Thunder Strike, but it does make it last longer, and you could do these like trap plays and stuff. So it is still a vision mechanic, which, given how far ahead they are, that vision mechanics are worth their weight in gold.
It's not the worst shard in the game, put it that way.
Smoke, but they do not go
They
for
just can't
mid.
find anybody.
I mean, it's the only heroes they can go on, but it's also correct they don't go for it, because I think it would have just been the disruption save off the call, and then Void Spirit has full mobility to get away.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So much time lost, though.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're not finding the action with the axe, man. This is not how this hero likes to play. BKB already done for the Lina. That's pretty brutal here. If Stormstormer gets it off and you don't get axe called in the fight, he's basically a god.
You're pretty much guaranteed to be looking at like a 5-minute window where you have the BKB advantage on OG. Secret are also building multiple BKBs, but they need some time to get them. So OG should be confident and should be looking to close out more of the map here. And time to start taking some of these tier 2s, being even more aggressive with their smokes.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're gonna gate back bottom. Trying to find the Lina down here, but Stormstormer's already out.
They're going to run into the Axe. Not a bad hero to run into at this point in time. Delay his BKB. Stop him being the ones. Get the initiation. Mixa on a godlike spree. And Days found the +1. Looks like he blinked disrupted Dealercore for an extra kill, putting Mixa beyond godlike.
10 and 0. What a monster. Just absolutely decimated this game. The aggression has paid off here for OG in game 2, that's for sure. 22-4. Whew, very different than that game 1.
Oh yeah. Seemed like OG cleaned up a bit of that early game where that was where Secret were doing pretty well for themselves the first 10-15 minutes.
That's why I thought. That's why I was a little unsure if OG were going to be able to execute this, because the early game execution in game 1 wasn't that clean. This time around it was way more decisive, way better. Like starting from minute 0 with this first blood, being together, playing the lanes better, getting the stacking up, just looked a lot more crisp. That's what you needed here, and you got it. Secret's still looking for some kind of team fight. We've had Supernova up for a while, but you have to jump the Lina, you have to check the
They know they're
SD
behind the tower,
disruption.
and they've already tagged Axe with damage. No initiation for the Axe. They were looking for a fight. If they were looking for an opportunity, OG shut the door on that one pretty quickly.
Dire's top tower.
It's just get BKBs and Hail Mary this. That's what this game's turning into for Secret. You need BKB Monkey, BKB Doom, BKB Axe probably, if he can get there. And then just look for a fight into the next Roche if you can line it up. If you can find a Doom pickoff, I mean, you'd love to Doom anybody in this game. I don't think we've seen a single one, right?
Yeah. I thought maybe we would see one early on the Timbersaw play, but I remember distinctly it was when he died back to back, so we had to run out to lane, and the 2 supports of Secret were smoked, and they made that play to kind of look top, but like the Doom wasn't even in lane yet, and ultimately Mixa didn't put his head out of his shell in the first place. So
yeah, it's been a rough one. I mean, Doom is not the best hero if you never Doom anybody. Put it that way.
That's
like, you know, it's kind of the staple of it.
Dire's bottom
it
tower
is his hallmark ability. It is what he's named after.
There's some pause here in this game, though. I mean, the lead is significant for OG, but Secret will get to their BKBs here. And that is something, because it is a very good BKB game for Secret. Right? You're looking at Demonic Purge control, but that's it. Delina does right-click you, but Delina's a pretty magic hybrid right-click carry, especially at this point in the game. The Void Spirit doesn't do really anything to you. The Timbersaw, his presence gets negated a little bit at least. The Disruptor goes away. I mean, you've got to be happy with your BKB timing here if you're Secret, just ignoring so much of the damage. Like, they can go after your supports. You know, Timber can just go after your supports for slaying, but your 3 cores are they're gonna be gods at least for a little bit if you can find the right jump.
Dire are scanning.
And Monkey's flying out, and Axes is a ways away. So you probably have to take the fight without that one. You want to contest Roshan here, available for both teams. They're going
You want to
in.
jump on the Timbersaw? They're going to try. Already a disruption has gone out, and Kiritich couldn't even get off the
yeah.
Doom. He BKBs, TPs out. A glimpse. I mean, you never can get clean out of this situation. If you do not win the fight, you're losing multiple heroes against Timbersaw, a Void Spirit, and a Disruptor. Tons of chase, and the extra pullback of the glimpse ensures it. 2 supports die, and straight to the Roshan pit.
They took a gamble, right? That's Secret saying, we're just going to take the chance and hope the SD's not there. And if he's not, we can call the Timber into Doom. And it can be a fairly straightforward kill, though even that, he might just BKB running out. It was a risky play. They don't have a lot of options right now. So it looks bad from our point of view, but kind of got to take what you get here.
I almost feel like they're far enough behind that you can't call the Timber Saw. I actually feel maybe you could still initiate on the Timber Saw, but you have to like Shadow Shaman initiation and then doom off of that. Cloud has to catch Selena. He has to catch supports. Like he actually needs to do some damage with that call. I think you can't just set it up on,
if
on Timber.
If it's a full fight, I 100% agree, but I think they're just saying, let's just see if this guy's alone.
Yeah.
Like, if he's alone there, we kill him. If he's not, that's life. We'll take the risk, we'll take the gamble. OG just not giving a lot of openings right now. And 4 minutes. 2 lives for Stormer here. Pretty hard to go in and call him now. See, Siege is your base.
Amp damage in the top area. They get that. That's Siege on high ground. That's a whole nother ball game right there. That becomes a very fast push on a tier 3 tower. And Secret, they're not going to have a large window to come up with something here. Mixa and Kiritich going at it here. Kiritich finally lets out the Doom. And once again, the Shadow Demon is there. There is no free opportunities here. OG keeping it tight in their formation, covering each other constantly. They've given up 4 deaths in total to Team Secret. And I don't remember when the last one was.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It was days at around 18 minutes.
And then it was days, and then it was days, and
Yeah.
then it was Stormer. The side lane cores haven't been touched.
So the kill an actual hero was at 7-minute mark.
Yeah.
That's quite a shutout. And you already have Lincoln's done for Shad. The Doom targets are getting harder to latch. The aggressive pressure on the Doom. That was the first Doom we've seen. Didn't even kill the hero. Feels bad, man. Now you get to go high ground here if you're OG with that amp damage in the bottle. No Doom available for a minute. You just plant remnants on Stormer. You have to pre-BKB to jump him. But you do have the BKB on Cloud.
All right, Yule's to get rid of the amp damage. Most of the damage has already been done, though. He's taken the tier 3, taken one of the buildings, and Cloud. Oh, he jumps into the remnant.
Pre-BKB.
Did not pre-BKB. Fumbles another initiation.
Oh, not like this. I mean, you're gonna get like disrupted on the play anyway. But
Oh, brother, he's still gonna get glimpsed back. And okay, what is happening here? We've got a Serpent Wards on the Lina, and she is stunned. Theolacor is in a position to chain up the Lina here. They might be able to get this Aegis relatively clean. I mean, Cloud, let's be real. Cloud already blew up his initiation.
That's
so
fair,
I almost don't think he matters. It's up to Ribal. It's up to everybody else. If the supports can take out the Aegis and Ribal can actually maybe kill something with his positioning where he's at here, he's going after the Disruptor. See what he makes of it. Static Storm does go off. They go straight for the supports off of that pause. They go for Puppy, try and take away the Supernova. They do manage to do so. There goes that Aegis, though. Kadaro didn't end up dying inside the Wukong's command, though. And coming back on the second line, BKB immediately active. Oh, Jesus. Change the guard. Ribal trying to change his positioning, trying to get out, but they are just all over the place. OG swarming over the battlefield. Mobile enough to catch him despite his jumps, despite the facet, despite the shard. They catch him. They kill Puppy again, and that is death. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Secret have anything left.
didn't even get to doom anything in that fight. The aggression from OG, just catching Secret off guard. The failed jump from the axe cost them so much. And they found nothing in this game. This was just a complete shutout. Very well executed lineup from OG.
Tower is under attack.
If they don't have that strong an early game, this can look a lot different here. But the fact they snowballed so hard, it's easy street now. And yeah, what a Timbersaw performance. 13-0 and 9 for Mixa. He's not been killed once.
Impressive stuff. Sight the Vice. Next up. Damn. I mean, he's got, oh man, he's got the tier 2, the extra spell damage. He's got everything. He's tanky because he's got BKB Ags. He's got Kaya. He's got Whisper the Dread. So he's got Spell Amp. He's now got Lockdown in the Sight the Vice. So like this guy is so farmed that he does everything as Timbersaw now.
can't ignore him, and you can't not ignore him. There's just no easy choice with this guy. There's your shard for the Shadow Demon as well. It's pretty nice here. Oh, one last fight for Secret. They're going down to the lower bracket here. Not a fun place to be this early on.
Satanic for Stormer. So that's going to be a tough kill as well.
There's no easy kills for Secret anymore. All have effectively 3,000 HP. They all have defense mechanisms. There's always the Shadow Demon disruption, which you have no answer for in this game, right? Your answer was supposed to, like, Phoenix plus Wukong create an AoE control, so when the guy comes out, he'll just take the fight. But you're so far behind in damage that OG are just walking it off. In fact, that last one, we didn't even see Supernova until Puppy used it just trying to do anything before dying. It's gonna have to be a fight for Roche. I think that's Secret's best. Oh, they're gonna smoke now. This is pretty risky.
OG
It feels
also
like you gotta
smokes.
find Lina. You gotta find Lina, Shadow Demon, or bust.
Yeah. Rival shows himself a little bit. Fills out the wave mid. OG looking to get an initiation on anybody who shows, but nobody is. So they just play it safe. Play underneath their ward. Again, feels pretty disciplined by them. Check the high ground, make sure there's nothing there. Now they go looking, saying, okay, maybe somebody's out here farming up the sides of the map. They're not. Secret instead have fully set up in the triangle, dropping double wards in the area, centering it up to make sure there's no vision. They are just hoping OG will give them something.
I mean, unless it's the Lina up front, I don't know what else they can really give him. Or Daze just walks into them. That would be the other golden goose. Just wait for Roche here. It's up in a minute. No reason to take a bad fight if you're OG. Especially when you're really hard to jump. Like, that's the problem. You can kind of just show whoever here, and as long as SD's behind, there's no easy jumps.
Another smoke from OG. I mean, they've been running the map, and there's been very little fear of rebuttal here. Oh my god, he BKB'd at the first sign of something because he's so scared, and he literally walked back into him to give him a little nightfall display, you know.
Yeah, at least he went into him, you know. It's like, that's all you can do there.
Of course, the immediate response is, okay, we need to try and push out the lane that they're not in, so they go to top, but OG, they know that. They're already setting up.
Secret bringing everybody up here, though. OG might not be ready for the numbers. They're the ones getting set up on. They will find the Shadow Demon.
Ooh, blink right before Cloud. It catches him. Shad does manage to get away. Now they're kiting things out.
That's a
Shad, he
disaster.
jumps into the back line. He's already silencing out. Rival, meanwhile, throws out his Wukong's command. But look at the damage. The Stormstormer is another amp damage, man. He just finds all of these amp damage, change the guard, but he can't change his positioning outside of the Wukong's command, so he still gets the kill. A Doom gets used for a 6 kill, perhaps. And it's going to be on a support if he takes out. They got him. They did. But that is
OG,
going to be a 5-for-1. OG, they can close it out now, looks like.
Did we see a single axe jump that landed for Secret this game? It feels like every time he's jumped, something bad has happened. Like that one, he got the blink out, didn't land anything. The monkey was on the other target. Such a tough game for Secret. Just nothing going their way on these attempts to claw their way back in, and it's not an easy one to do it in. I mean, this position is quite oppressive as OG trying to close it out here. That's the downside of Axe. Like, S0 he can snowball games. He can be really strong. He can have a good laning phase. And sometimes when he falls behind, you're stuck in games like this where you're like, God damn, why did you pick this hero? I feel so useless. But to be fair, almost anything would probably feel useless here.
Live by the call,
We got
die
the
by
call.
the call. Got a one, got a good one, perhaps. Immediately bailed out by the disruption. Stormstormer has BKB. I think he still has Satanic too. Beatstep wipes them both out with a quick blink in whirling death. And without Doom, they have no,
That's it.
no they have nothing. They have no options against any of the cores. OG. I mean, it was a close back and forth game, 80-minute game. And there was some great plays and there was some